1898, 10 years after his song collecting journey. He helped a bunch of guys drive a herd of cattle from Chimney Lake, New Mexico to Higgins, Texas. That's a good ways. Probably one of the, if you're talking 1898, it was probably one of the last overland cattle drives you was ever going to see or be involved in. But anyway, on that particular cattle drive, one night sitting around the fire, Jack had him a little stub of a pencil, and on a brown paper sack, he wrote the story of Little Joe the Wrangler. Now, Little Joe the Wrangler was a song that would be heard by the cowboys that were with him on that trail drive. But for the very first time, as Jack put it, to human ears have ever heard, was at Uncle Johnny Root's store and saloon in Weed, New Mexico. And since that day, it passed into oral tradition. It became one of the best loved and most liked, most sung, most recorded cowboy songs ever. And of course, old Jack Thorpe, not one penny richer for having written it. And that's kind of the way it was with them old songs, you know. But anyway, it became his most famous song and was recorded by a lot of people, including myself. Little Joe the Wrangler will wrangle nevermore. His days with a remuda they are o'er. Was a year ago last April when he rode into our camp, a little Texas stray and all alone. Was late in the evening when he rode up to the herd on a little old brown pony he called Chaw. And with brogan shoes and overalls, a tougher looking kid you'd never in your life had ever saw. His saddle was a southern cack built many years ago, an OK spur on one foot idly hung, with his hot roll in a cotton sack and loosely tied behind, a canteen from his saddle horn was slung. He said if we would give him work he'd do the best he could, though he didn't know straight up about a cow. The boss he cut him out a mount and kindly put him on, for he sorta liked the little kid somehow. Well, he learned to wrangle horses and to know them one and all, and to get them in by daybreak if he could, and to follow the chuck wagon and to always hitch the team, and to help the cocinero rustle wood. We're driven to Red River, the weather being fine. We were camped out on the south side in a bend, when a norther commenced blowing, so we doubled up our guard. It took all hands to hold the cattle in. Little Joe the Wrangler was called out with the rest, though the kid had scarcely reached the herd, when the cattle they stampeded like a hailstorm long they fled, while we were all a-riding for the lead. Midst the streaks of lightning there was one horse up ahead. It was Little Joe the Wrangler in the lead. He was riding old Blue Rocket with a slicker o'er his head, trying to check the leaders in their speed. They'd finally got 'em millin' and kinda quieted down when the extra guard back to the wagon rode. But there was one a-missin', and we knew it at a glance, was our little Texas stray, poor Wrangler Joe. Next morning, just at daybreak, we had found where Rocket fell, down in a washout 20 feet below. Beneath his horse, smashed to a pulp, his spur had rung its knell, was our little Texas stray, poor Wrangler Joe. Now little Joe the Wrangler, he will wrangle nevermore. His days with the remuda, they are o'er. Was a year ago last April when he rode into our camp, just a little Texas stray and all alone. Oh yes, it was a long and lonesome